Okay guys, I wanted to show you what I did to fix my petcock. This is the spare one I had, so I'm just showing you an example here. But basically you can see the black rubber gasket that's underneath of it. And I got a new one when I did the rebuild months ago on the petcock. Then this goes on top of it. And then there's a little springy washer that goes over that. Then your faceplate goes on, and that's supposed to put pressure and push this down here to seal it. I tried taking the ring that I had off my spare and putting it on the petcock outside. While that did put more pressure on it, it still had a leak, not as much. So what I decided to do, and a lot of guys do this, is make a shim that goes down first, and then that black plastic gasket goes on top of it. So I took my plastic gasket, and you can see here, just traced it out, cut it out. This is gasket material. It is, I don't know, incredibly thin. 1/16 of an inch. And then found the right drill bit that would fit through those holes, mark the holes on the gasket material, and just cut it out by hand. Took me 20-30 minutes. So I just went back out there, put the gasket down first that I've made, and then the black gasket, making sure the holes are aligned. And there's an alignment peg right there. That's the silver one. The other three are holes. And then put everything back together, including this, I don't know what you call it, pressure ring. That goes over that. And everything works fine now. You don't have to tighten the screws as tight. I've still got movement, and that fixed my problem. So just letting you know, that's a way to fix those. I've seen guys, I had this gasket material around because I made one for the oil pump. It's $8, and you get a package of, I don't know, 4 or 5 different types of gaskets. It is rated for gasoline. But I've seen guys make these out of like the coffee lids that come on coffee, just out of plastic. I mean, obviously those will deteriorate with gasoline. So I just did it out of this gasket material, and it should be a permanent fix. So, okay, YouTubers, let's say what's going to be the final, definitely be the final video of the year. Let's turn this off here. It's going to get really cold really fast. But, oh, here we go. Emblems are on. All the cables are on. Got everything buttoned up. It is just way too cold to tune this. I have had it kicked over and running. It needs severe tuning, obviously. But it's just too cold, and with the garage doors closed in, yeah, I'll asphyxiate myself in here. So we're gonna have to wait till springtime. But I wanted to give you the look of the refurbished 1973 RD350. Tore this thing all the way down to the frame. I did not take the engine out. I am still waiting on a headlight, which I will get on here. That's the only thing that's not been proven to work. Got this off of Craigslist, if you remember. I think I paid $6.50, and that was with delivery. The guy dropped it off for me. I spent, I think I'm up to 20 days now. This might be the 20th day. Doing the rebuild. Everything was cleaned, chromed. If you remember, it didn't have turn signals. Originally, the guy had tried to make this into a cafe racer. Didn't have keys, couldn't open the tank. Oil pan had a big crush in it. Tires were all 45-year original tires. So I put new tires, new tubes, polished all the chrome, did all the body work. I had it painted. Went out to eBay and won a couple hundred auctions now and again. Got turn signals working. Fixed the electrical issues because there was a scramble of electrical wires where they had cut into it to try to put in stop and start switches. Was missing a, tripped over the broom. Was missing a right-hand switch. My light fell. Was missing a right-hand switch. Was missing the console. If you remember, it did not have a console. It had two little mini tachometer and spotometer up here. So then, again, went out to eBay, tore these all the way down, cleaned them out, lithium greased them, put new face plates on them, resealed each one. Won an old console on eBay, restored it after hours and hours of work. Had to get a new brake master cylinder. This is a reproduction. Used the same lines, was able to clean those out and restore them. New reproduction turn signals on the front. Won an auction for the badges because the Yamaha tank badges were not there. Had to buy the graphics. Had it painted. I think that was the most expensive thing that I've done. I ended up getting that done for $700. Tore down the carbs. Got a new throttle cable because the throttle cable was broken. Rebuilt the petcock. Cleaned hours and hours in here because it was all gunked up with grease. Underneath the cover. New chain. Rebuilt the rear drum brakes. Rebuilt the front caliper, original caliper. Same pistons, but new seals. Rebuilt the speedo. It goes to the speedo cable up there. Polished hours and hours and hours and hours on the chrome. Restored the original rear shocks. Put in new fork seals. Took the front forks off. Restored the seat, put new foam, new vinyl, repainted all the internal products, redid all the electric so that it works. Replaced the flasher relay so we have turn signals now. And polished and polished and polished on chrome. Got the gas tank. Spent hours doing the body work on that gas tank. Got the rear tail light and everything working. Get in here and see the carb. See, I still need tuning. I adjusted this out as far as I can, and it's still got slack in it. But it's just too cold, and I can't, if I start this up, I get smoke out of both, white smoke, which is actually a good sign. Painted the side covers. Had to get a new rear peg. I was missing one of my rear pegs. Had to get new, there were turn signals screwed in there, if you remember. Only thing wrong with it is this break in the fin, which I've got a new set of heads coming. So I will replace those. I had to get new, and these are reproduction mirrors. Of course, everything's very dusty. Got my electric all working. High, low, turn signal left, turn signal right. Horn, neutral light works. Kill switches work. Motor on, motor off works. So there you go. I feel like I have accomplished my goal of getting this working and all put together by the new year. I want to thank all the followers who followed me. I want to thank my family for putting up with me while I obsessed over this. I think all said and done at this point, I haven't totaled up the headlight and things that I've purchased yet, but I was at basically $3,250 restoring this bike. That includes the purchase, the 650 purchase, includes the paint. I put in a couple $100 for miscellaneous things where I had to buy a jar of grease or brake fluid and those kind of things. I can gotta do the final numbers on it, but yeah, right around 3,300, probably with the headlight and everything. I got the keys. Remember, I didn't have keys, so I was able to find the numbers and get new keys made. Next step, obviously once it's warmer, I can get her tuned up and running. I did have her running in here, but it just smoked out the garage so fast it wasn't even funny. But the next thing to really do, I mean, other than the tune, is to get the title, get this thing registered so that I can ride it come summer. And I'll do some more posts after this when I get the headlight, figure out how I'm going to do that. I'll give an update on how I got it titled, you know, how to title an unregistered bike that's been in somebody's barn for 20 years. And then my son's actually got a GoPro. So I may even, once the summer comes and I get the registration, take this thing for a nice little jaunt around our curvy roads here in Brownsburg, Indiana, and show you guys how this thing works and how fun it's going to be to ride. But again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a fabulous 2018 New Year.